Rule number 14. Stage it. I bet you've heard that houses look better if they are just white walls and bare floors. Forget it. Most buyers lack one essential to appreciate a home: imagination. An empty home looks simply empty. And a cluttered home with personal details is too hard for most buyers to envision as the home they would want to live in. I advise agents to stage every home they market. I have found it crucial for making a sale for the maximum price. You don't have to hire a professional staging firm, although that may be important for the higher-priced homes. For some homes, you and the sellers can stage it using their belongings and a few of your own. But in our market and in most cases, I highly recommend using a professional stager, or what has become a new business, a stager who will edit the owner's home and stage using some of the owner's belongings while bringing in a few accent pieces. This is less costly than a full staging job and can be very effective. It is much better than leaving the staging up to the seller. It's just not what they do or know. Never forget that you are the professional and they are relying on your expertise. Don't shortchange your reputation or your client's home. Here's how the staging experts from HGTV suggest ways a seller can stage her own home. Get rid of clutter. The less junk the better. Remove family photographs, children's toys, and excess furniture. Make it look like a model home, not like someone lives there. Professional stagers take away as much as half the home's furnishings to make every room look larger. Although we prefer a vacant home prior to staging. Then reposition the remaining furniture into conversation groupings. Move pieces around the home to find where a chair or table works best. Make sure every room has a purpose. If there's one room that collects junk and we all have that room, put the junk in storage, then add a cozy chair, a book-filled shelving unit, and a reading lamp. And voila! It's a library space. Brighten the lights. Change out bulbs to the highest wattage you can use. Homes that are dark don't show as well. A simple fix like replacing light bulbs goes a long way. Don't forget to have the home cleaned by a professional and the windows washed inside and out. No one wants to see spider webs and scuff marks when they're touring a home. Make sure all the lawns and gardens are in great shape. Trim bushes, remove large trees that cover the home, reseed the front lawn if necessary. Plant some annual flowers and lay mulch. Curb appeal is not a myth. The staging a seller does can make the difference between a home that lingers on the market and one that sells for top dollar. Rule number 15. Make a great first impression. We've talked about the need to stage a home to give it that designer home anonymity so your seller will get the highest offer possible in Rule 14. But there's more to do to get a home ready for sale. You want every home to create a great first impression. Help your seller understand what kind of work needs to be done before the home starts to be shown to potential buyers. Repair. Are there repairs that the homeowner has been meaning to make for years? The cracked concrete in the front walk, the missing closet door handle, the leaking bathroom faucet. Most people live with some imperfections in their home. But potential buyers will zero in on small repairs needed and assume they are indicative of a home that hasn't been well cared for. Repair them before putting the home on the market. Repaint. Most homes need a new paint job, inside and out. There's a stain on the ceiling from an old water leak. Paint is peeling from the trim on the south side of the home that gets direct sunlight. Whenever possible, repaint the interior with a neutral palette. Ask the stager to recommend current colors that are in today's taste. For the exterior, I prefer a taupe gray shade that complements the greenery of the garden. Deep clean. Carpets must be cleaned, floors scrubbed and buffed, windows washed inside and out, kitchen cabinets and walls grease-free. This kind of cleaning is not the same as everyday tidying. It's probably best to bring in a professional. Check appliances. Be sure that all the major appliances are working properly. If not, fix or replace them. Most buyers don't want to have the additional expense of purchasing new appliances when they have just bought a new home. And don't forget to install smoke and carbon monoxide detectors throughout the home. Garden. The front lawn must be trimmed and meticulous. A garden that's overgrown makes buyers think about all that work they'll have to do out there. Which is not what most people want. Keep up with the garden chores until the home is sold. You get one chance to make a good first impression. Most buyers will make up their mind right away if the home feels right for them or not. Don't give them any reason to rule out your listing. Rule number 16. Take charge of the makeover. In order to sell a property, the seller has to position the property in the best possible light. When I represent a seller, part of my service is to coordinate, execute, and manage the mini makeover of the seller's home prior to market. I prepare a checklist for the makeover that outlines our responsibilities. I ask the sellers to sign the list to be sure everyone is clear. My makeover checklist. The agent will obtain bids for work needed prior to market and inspection reports for the listing. The seller will make final decisions on the work to be performed on the property prior to market. The seller will negotiate bids with service providers directly. The seller will make prompt payments to service providers. I meet with the service providers and contractors to discuss what I have recommended, but the seller is solely responsible for all payments. I book appointments with the seller at each stage of the improvements to discuss any changes to the plan and witness the progress of the improvements. When I am closely involved with the mini makeover, everybody is well informed about the process. I manage expectations and make sure the process goes smoothly. From Kevin Costner's movie Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. It is so true. If the sellers make the financial investment, they will reap the rewards. A mini makeover is often the key to selling a property promptly and at the best possible price. Rule number 17. Create property-specific websites. All real estate agents work for an agency that has a website. I hope so. Many agents have their own personal website. I hope that's you. A personal website lets you control your own brand image. It can be a gateway to your Facebook page as well as a link to your agency's website. It is imperative to have your own personal website in order to separate you from the rest. Your website is a place to showcase all you do and have done. Include a list of resources, charity work you may be involved with, your active, pending, and sold listings, along with a plethora of other information. Take a look at www.dimaggioandbetta.com to see how I use my website. To me, having your own personal website is a must. But I would take it one step further. For all my listings, I construct their own website. For the website, I use a property-specific web address, such as www.123mainstreet.com. It can be very inexpensive to set up a website for a property. There are many do-it-yourself sites such as Tour Factory, Weebly and Squarespace, where you can create a powerful website yourself. It's easy to choose a template, add photos, videos and text. The sites look great and the cost is next to nothing. I believe having personalized websites for your best listings will become quite common in the future. They make it easy for buyers and sellers to preview the most important features of a property. No need to scroll through the MLS, just tell your clients to click on 123mainstreet.com and be sure to share that site throughout all of your social media platforms before it comes to market. To advertise your broker tour, the Sunday open house, and to remind the public of the next open house, or to simply alert people that the property is still available, so get on the bandwagon early. Create personalized sites to grow your business. An added bonus, your clients will be impressed with your out-of-the-ordinary marketing efforts. Rule number 18. Don't skip the print. It's tempting to put all your resources into the internet. In fact, I would recommend putting at least 60% of your advertising dollars into online advertising. Online advertising includes your website development, social media advertising on national real estate sites, and advertising on other local sites where potential customers are likely to visit, such as your local Chamber of Commerce website. But don't skip print of advertising altogether. If your local newspaper is well read in the community, advertise weekly in the classified under Home for Sale, or in the real estate section. If photos of your homes appear muddy in the newspaper ads, try getting a pen and ink sketch of a property. It will appear much more legible, crisp and elegant. Plus it will position you as an innovative marketer. Also place institutional ads about yourself and your agency that include your photo and qualifications, as well as testimonials from clients. Show your website address in large letters to direct readers to your site, where they can see many photographs of each of your listings and learn more about you. Take advantage of other forms of print advertising such as local real estate magazines. Whatever is popular in your area. These magazines are often picked up by tourists and locals looking for a home. Postcard mailings. Most of your homes will be sold locally. Postcards are an efficient way to reach out to targeted areas in your market. Your personal brochure. You will want to have a personal brochure about you and your company to have on hand at open houses and to send out to new prospects. Be sure to bring your personal brochure to networking events as well. It's true that most home sales now originate on the internet. But don't ignore the clients who enjoy reading the newspaper or leafing through a brochure. Rule number 19. Use a professional photographer. Photography is key to any real estate business. Photographs are the primary lure to encourage a buyer to preview a property. Great photographs draw people in, but poor photographs will turn people away. Hire a professional photographer to take beautiful images that will create a powerful story for marketing a home. A professional photographer knows how to capture an image utilizing the best light. Allow your photographer to choose the time of day to photograph the property. A single room may require multiple photographs to capture all it has to offer. For example, an exquisite living room could boast beautiful beamed ceilings, dramatic windows, sparkling hardwood floors, and a wood-burning fireplace. A series of photos to highlight each feature could show the room to its best advantage. Photographers know how to tell a story through pictures, and that's exactly what you want to do with the photographs of homes you list. Capture vignettes that inspire buyers. Strike a balance between photos that show the entire room as well as details like sconces, moldings, or architectural elements. Small details can really make a difference when clients are choosing a home. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of partnering with a professional photographer to showcase your listings no matter the price point. It simply isn't a step any real estate agent should skip. This goes for all listings, $200,000 to $5 million. Guaranteed, your listings will stand out from all the rest. Rule number 20. Try a sketch. Photography is the best way to showcase your listing on a website and online. But you will want to order a pen and ink drawing of your listing in order to pre-market the home before the garden has been spruced up and exterior painted. Consider hiring a sketch artist to do a professional rendering of your listing. A sketch will bring cachet to all of your listings. I do this for every listing no matter the price point. All clients deserve the best. Why not position yourself as the agent who represents each client with platinum service rather than the agent who breaks her clientele into categories from bronze to gold? Give 110% to each and every client. If you are selling condos in a project not yet built, or if you are working with a builder who builds custom homes, a rendering of the finished home is key. A sketch is an excellent way to market a property long before it has been completed. It's easy for the illustrator to provide a detailed rendering of a property not yet finished. An illustrator is able to embellish the bushes and trees before they are pruned or planted and disregard the cracks in the walls of the home. Often a photograph does not replicate well in the newspaper, but a sketch will look crisp and clear. A professional rendering can be used not only in advertising, but also given as a gift to the buyer. Printed on note cards, it's the perfect way for them to announce their new home, or framed and hung on their wall. It's a memento the buyer will keep forever. Rule number 21. Send postcards. One of the most effective advertising campaigns a real estate agent can use is sending oversized postcards. These 5.5x8 half cards, half the size of a sheet of paper, are mini billboards in your client's mailbox. Postcards are visual, they jump out at you. Like a billboard, you immediately grasp the point of a well-designed postcard. It's more effective to show a home than to write long paragraphs about it. Postcards are not immediately discarded the way a letter can be. Most people will read what's on a postcard because it doesn't need to be opened. It's right there. You can target your audience for postcard mailing. Decide which location you would like to serve and the price range of a home you feel most comfortable selling. Then send postcards to your targeted audience. Here's a way to start with postcards. Budget for 6 months of oversized postcards, $500 per month at $81 each. Your actual price may vary. That's a $3,000 budget. Have a professional image of the property you want to sell on the postcard. Also be sure to include your name and contact information along with your photograph. You won't have much room, but include a brief description about the home, and if you are organized, make this an announcement inviting the neighbors to your Sunday open house. These kinds of postcards will not only help you sell properties, they can generate leads for future listings. There are many resources on the internet that will help you construct and mail a postcard or oversized postcard mailing. Work with your local title company to pick out the demographics of the clients you are trying to reach. Keep your branding the same in each mailing. Your real estate company will have its own branding and a printing company to use. Use what the company offers, it's likely to be at a good price and look professional. The good old-fashioned postcard is still a great way to reach a specific audience with your message. Remember, not everyone is on the internet. Like my mom. Rule number 22. Treat luxury properties differently. When a seller is listing a home worth a lot of money, think seven figures, it's likely there will be more to market, more glamour, more bells and whistles, more to photograph, more details. You now have a golden opportunity to market an incredible home, so take advantage of it. Don't miss the boat. Why not host an evening preview party at the property for neighbors and clients, and a Twilight 4 for real estate agents? Parties are a wonderful way to showcase a property and meet potential clients. Have a professional photographer at the event to give you fodder for future blogs and social media postings. When you have a luxury property, hire a professional to shoot a video about the home. You can use the video on YouTube. And don't stop there. Add the video to your website and scatter it throughout your various social media platforms. I continually use my luxury video from years ago in my marketing presentations as needed, and of course it sits on YouTube, my LinkedIn page, and more. Put together a special brochure about the property. You may want to hire a public relations firm to drum up media coverage. It's likely the local paper will carry an article about a prestigious property for sale, especially if you advertise the property heavily. A special mailing to homeowners who have similar luxury homes in the neighborhood is a must. If you want to take on a luxury listing, be prepared to spend money on marketing in order to sell the home and make a splash in the meantime. Don't make the mistake of thinking that the gorgeous property will sell itself. It won't. To skimp on marketing a luxury home is tantamount to quitting just before the finish line. An agent who goes the extra mile by utilizing all the tools in his or her arsenal will satisfy clients and sell more homes. Rule number 23. Write a love letter. I've seen this technique work for buyers and sellers alike. You may think that a real estate transaction is a cold-blooded business affair, but it's not. Quite the contrary, emotions run high. When a buyer or seller conveys real emotion about a home, a transaction that was going nowhere can suddenly take a turn for the better. Sometimes it happens when the would-be buyer writes a love letter about the home. It might begin. Dear Bianca and Chase, my family and I truly fell in love with your home the very moment we stepped over the threshold. We just knew it had to be ours. The letter should be heartfelt. When it expresses a true sentiment, it can make the difference between a sale or a rejection. Sellers want to know who will be buying their home, and they want to be sure the home will be loved and cared for. One time, my husband made a deal for a buyer for $100,000 less than the highest offer. It was the buyer's letter and my husband's glowing presentation that sealed the deal. A seller can also write a love letter about her own home. She can mention all the fabulous times they had in their home, talk about their terrific neighbors, and the town's excellent schools. A nicely written love letter can do wonders to turn a skeptical buyer into a gung-ho buyer. People connect with a home. It's the place they live with their family, a place where they seek comfort, build memories, and entertain friends and relatives. A letter about a home that comes from the heart can be one reason why a home sells. Real emotions count in real estate. Rule number 24. Tell the seller to take a hike. Make sure the seller is not home. Buyers can be much more candid about what they like or dislike about a home when the seller is absent. They may be reluctant to express their true feelings when the seller is around. Buyers feel like they are intruding in the seller's home and do not stay as long as they would if the seller weren't around. There are too many things that can go wrong when a seller hangs around during a showing. One time my seller popped in during an inspection and the buyer happened to mention the oven wasn't working. The seller nonchalantly said she would have it repaired. In the end, this seemingly small gesture turned into an expensive nightmare when the part wasn't available. I worked with one seller who had a home full of exquisite antiques. She was so anxious to sell the home she said that she would part with furnishings worth tens of thousands